Don't say you've got two cats there. That's hey.
Hi,
Cat stream. Hello.
Cat
Hi.
Stream. Hello. Welcome to Read, Rate, Review. This is the live show for Kingdom of Souls by Irina Baron, which we're excited to talk about. There's only a few of us here and cats too, so that's always good.
Yeah, we will bribe you with cat footage instead for the lack of people today. I mean, there's still 3 of us, so it's plenty.
Yeah, and our personalities make up for it.
Yeah. Jade was supposed to join us today, but she had like something urgent right before, so she's very sorry that she's missing this, and she did read the book and she wanted to speak to us about it, but maybe she'll be in the chat, I don't know, so maybe we'll hear some of her thoughts. I don't actually know. But
yeah. Okay, so usually how these things go, this is my first ever live show that's like on my channel, so if I screw this up, I'm sorry. Hopefully I won't.
Scary.
I hope you do, and that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, so fun. So thank you all for being here. Before we get into the spoilers and the discussion and everything, we usually do nominations first, right?
Yeah, which is just going to be 2 now.
Yeah, there's only 2 nominations, so take it
50-50.
away.
Come on, Gav, let's go.
Oh god,
I
I'm
don't even
ready
know
to
how
fight.
to hold a fist.
I'll just headbutt. Okay, I guess we're saving the best for first, and that's me. So that's Cinderella is dead. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
It's first the worst, second the best, but we're going with it. Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. I am so excited to read this. I keep putting it in a TBR video and I just keep losing. So again, I haven't managed to fit this on my September one, so I'm hoping that for Read, Rate, Review, we can read Cinderella is Dead. And I think this is 200 years after Cinderella has died, and everybody in the kingdom, it's like the maidens and the eligible bachelors or something, they get paired together or something at a ball. And what can I say? I like balls, so I think it'll be a great read.
Is that your whole reason?
Yes, that's all I know.
I mean, it's not too far from my reasoning as well for my thing. I am certain I have actually put this book forward for like at least 2 times before. So I'm sorry for repeating, but like I just like one of those days it will pass the vibe. So it's this one. I don't actually know if a lot of us have already read it, but it was either this. I was also thinking about Red Rising, which I'm sure a lot of people have also read. So I don't know. I just picked this because I am in a massive sci-fi mood, and this is not sci-fi confirmed, but it's a sci-fi leaning book about I think it also touches a little bit about social media and that aspect of how it affects you. Cody, I think you read it. Am I even close?
No, I haven't read it, but I really want to read it. Yeah.
Okay. So there's basically these Carls appear. Oh shit, sorry. There you go. Cat cave.
Oh, damn.
But basically these like statues that they name Carls appear, and we follow, I think, the first person that noticed them and took a video and uploaded on the internet and became kind of famous for them. And we don't know where these statues came from, and also why they're there. And that's kind of all I know. And so far I've had massive luck with all of the books that have like big mysterious statues, so very excited. Plus, like, there's that social media aspect of everything that really intrigues me, so it's called An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, in case this is reverse, I'm not sure. And that's the 2 options for this time.
Such a hard choice. Such a hard choice.
I'll be happy with either.
Same, to be fair.
I actually can't put a comment in there, so I'm gonna send the form to the Twitter chat, and Cody, if you can copy that and put it in the chat, please.
No worries.
So you guys can vote now, and we'll also post this later if you want to.
Yeah, we'll fight it out. I am really excited to read that one. I've seen it around quite a bit, and I haven't read that. I haven't read Red Rising either, so if you had to pick that one, I still wouldn't have been too bad with that. Also, wow. Look at them.
Excuse you.
Aww. The
Oh.
cutest. Okay, I'm just copying this link.
It's gonna be like all fun and games until they start biting, which is still a game, but
It's just going to get a bit loud then.
Okay, so that should be it in the chat. So y'all can
Very
go
nice.
and vote. Let me know if that doesn't work for any reason, because I'm paranoid that I'm gonna mess up somehow. But yeah, I'd be happy with either of those choices. I have wanted to read the Hank Green one for longer, though. But I do love a retelling, so like a fairy tale retelling could be pretty cool. Heard good things about both.
Spoiled for choice. Spoiled for choice.
yeah.
Yeah.
True
So that's
that.
the nominations done. We shall now get into the book.
Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't read it and doesn't want to be spoiled, goodbye. I'm sorry. I hope you enjoy it, but please leave.
The mandatory waving of the book.
Yeah, actually.
Has to be done. It's like a thing that we all have to do.
Yeah, and it is a beautiful cover, to be fair. It is.
It really
is. I
It's
love
covered.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely
I
gorgeous.
really love it. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, so much better than
And
the
have
paperback
the-
version.
Edges and it's so pretty.
Oh, you do. I don't.
Yeah, I'm just like, maybe I should.
I mean, like,
Yeah, maybe
it's
we should do that.
DIY, so it's not like you can't have it.
Yeah, that's true. I can do that next.
Special D edition.
Yay.
I agree. The UK cover is much better than the US one, Bunny.
Mm.
Mhm.
And it's much better than the paperback version as well, because the new paperback that's just come out. Oh,
Oh, I
Ooh.
don't think I even seen it.
oh.
I made it work. There we go.
Yay!
Ah, yeah.
I don't think
My
I've seen-
name is very misleading now because this is not Momo.
Oh, yeah.
You are deceiving us.
So cute. Anyway, we should probably do general thoughts. So guys, general ratings, general thoughts, overall vibe. What are you thinking?
Okay. Okay, I will start with some positivity. And I will say I gave this one 4 stars. And I really did enjoy it. I was really digging the plot. The story anyway, because I love things to do with demons and sort of like witchcraft and magic, but it felt more like, well, I wouldn't say like real magic, but the fact that we had a main protagonist who didn't have magic, that was kind of something that I was really digging, and I really liked seeing that develop and all of that, but also a lot of the family drama that happened in it as well, as you probably know. I don't know, I genuinely don't know if you guys liked those aspects of it, because I feel like we could go either way here. We could, agree so much on one thing and disagree so much on the other, so I'm a little bit scared. So I'm kind of hesitant to say what I love, in case you tear it to shreds.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. It's like we're here for your opinions.
Yeah.
Yay! Well, I did really enjoy the story and the way it kind of unfolded through it. It felt, yeah, I don't know. I felt the world. I felt the world. Yeah.
Good.
Mm.
G, rating, overall thought.
Listen. So, I felt. Do you swear on this channel? I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's not even a swear wall, to be fair, but I felt blue-balled constantly by this book. So I started. Actually, this is just general thoughts. Sorry, I got too excited. There were so many things I liked about this book. So many ideas I really liked. Too many, and that's gonna be my major point later on. So this actually got 2 stars from Copile.
From Copile.
2 stars.
Oh, from Copile as well. That is.
Yeah. A fairly high 2-star, but it was still a 2-star. It was main things where I could not tell you, like, I couldn't name the friend group. I couldn't tell you any backstories of theirs. Like, I couldn't tell them apart. Other than like maybe a couple, the funny one that begins with an M. And I didn't feel the love interest. However, I did enjoy his character. I just wish there wasn't a love, or no, actually, I wish there was a love aspect. I just wish it was a bit different. And I found the deity stuff extremely confusing. Someone said that there is actually a glossary online, which I just did not know. But I feel like this book had no reason to not. The audacity of this not having the glossary with all of those names of the deities is just like, I wish there was a glossary. Someone from my Patreon said that they actually started their own while they were reading. I was like, I admire commitment. And it was very confusing at parts, basically.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of the ratings with you guys. It was kind of like a low 3 stars for me. There was so much that I did enjoy, but it was an execution thing. They built up a really cool world and cool magic systems, but again, I was too confused. It was very fast paced. The pacing kind of messed me up a little bit, where I'd miss major plot points and have to reread. I have said to G as well, I agree with the glossary thing. It needed a glossary for me to keep track of who's who and which, like, Orisha did which thing. And the romance I'm not digging, but that's the usual for me. And again, I would like it to feel more of like a found family, but I don't know their backstories, just like G said. So I kind of agree with both of you, middle of the road. I would be intrigued to see what the sequel turns into, because this, from the synopsis, did not go the way I was expecting, which I like. There's a couple of times where it did surprise me and subvert my expectations. But then there was some, let's say, resurrections that I was a bit like, oh, really? So yeah, generally like a low 3 stars.
I think we should be fine to say spoilers as well. So
yeah.
I was gonna say I was confused by the ending. I didn't.
I was confused. It was a twist. Most of it. That's why I constantly felt like, what?
Yeah,
I'll get into it.
Yeah, so we have some kind of mixed ratings here. We have like 4 stars and then like 2 stars. Execution, yeah, same, dude. DNF'd here, almost. Yes. I said that on my Discord channel as well. I asked, is it just me who can't really get into this at the halfway point? It was just not holding my interest in parts. Did you guys feel the same way towards the middle? And the cats are being cute.
There's a pile of cats now.
They're the best. They're the best. I want to get my cats and just pile them up on top of each other and just put them in the background, you know.
Oh.
I definitely, it was, you know what, for the pacing for me, it was up and down, because I wasn't really too interested in it until I think it was Coffee, who is Aura's best friend, goes missing. I think that was when it really started picking up for me, because then we had Aura start to trade her light, what is it, her time, her light. And she was like doing that, and I thought, oh, this is like a really cool concept, because obviously, if she had been given magic, if she had like found magic easily, I would have been really annoyed. So I really liked how that magic system worked, because it wasn't easy for Aura at all, and it felt a bit more dangerous. Like there was a lot of high stakes quality to that part of it, because I thought, if she keeps trading her life, if she keeps doing this will not have a good effect on her or the characters around her. So it wasn't until I think her friend went missing, and then it turned out that it was her mother. Dun dun dun. You ain't my mother. All that started happening. That was when I was like, oh, this is picked up for me a lot, because I wasn't really feeling it to begin with. It was until I think that when the plot started picking up and I started to see there's a bit more depth to the characters. I think the character work in this was like well done. While I do really like the world and the building and stuff, I definitely agree with the glossary. I always struggle with fantasy, which is why I kind of stray away from it. So those parts of it did take me out of the story quite a bit. But that's with any fantasy for me. I really need to work on that. But that's a me thing, which is why I didn't mark this down, because it's always the case for me. It's the same with the romance. Like I know it's like never anything that I'm interested in, unless it's male. But or female. I love a bit of queer representation. But yeah, it was just because that was so underdeveloped as well. It hit them off for me. So what was the original question? Oh yeah, so yeah, when the kids started going missing, that's when it picked up. I went off on a tangent there.
I was really intrigued in the very beginning of the book because I thought I was afraid that I was going to take me a while to get into, and then I started reading. I was like, oh, this is actually quite easy to read. Yay! So then I kept reading, and then I kind of lost interest once we said goodbye to the grandmother. And the father was like kind of absent because he went to collect bones. And those two characters were my favorite characters of the book. So that is a massive part of why I think I enjoyed it less, because I was super intrigued and I wanted more from the relationship with the grandmother and also with the father, especially with the father, because he is the witch doctor. He had the whole apothecary, and I thought that she would be then finally kind of coming to terms that she does not have magic. As if we would ever take that path. I don't know why I was so naive. But I thought that maybe she will have to, like, just learn to fight and be awesome without the magic, and like learn to actually basically be like a massive herbologist and just learn to like have tricks instead of that. But no, the father just was taken away, and then he came back from the bones, and then he was like turned into a zombie basically. So that was a massive bummer. Then just to be like released 3 seconds to say like one sentence and die. And I was like, God damn it. Like, I know we need to remove the parents for the most part, like as well, we don't need to, but that happens often, which I'm not a fan of. So it just suffered a lot from the tropes that I'm just personally not really into. So it was kind of like a bummer, because those were the two characters that I really wanted to, for the main character, Ara, right?
Yeah.
to have like page time with. And that was kind of like my point, is like I felt like the whole book, then I thought that it's going to be this mystery of who kidnapped the kids. Then we just figured that out in like the first, sorry, keep burping, 50 pages. And so I'm just like, I kind of wish maybe that was going on for longer, because I was quite intrigued with that part, and then I lost the intrigue because obviously we already know. And that was really early on, so I was like, oh wow, so this must not be the main plot then. And then I struggled to realize what the main plot was after that, because at first I was like, oh, this is a clear structure, I quite like it. And then we figure out that it's the mother, and then like everything. I will say that it was super epic in the temple when the kids were killed, and the gods descend. I was just like, hell yeah, this is what I'm here for. So that was a super good part for me personally. And then I found it extremely weird and like a whiplash that we just kind of skipped. Like we did a lot of that in this book, just kind of fade to black, and then we skip for like 2 or 3 weeks, and she's just kind of going along, like, yeah, sure, like a bit distressed, but like still going, like changing her love notes. And I'm like, your dad is literally possessed, and like you just witnessed so many kids die, and you're under the spell, and you still have the mental capacity to go and trade the notes. That felt really odd to me. But anyway, and then the whole thing happened with the time city, where like I will say that I'm not mad at it. I understand that it's a very clear plot device to further the plot, let's just say. Like it's a pretty I don't want to say lazy, but I can't find the other word, but it's a pretty like easy way of doing it. Convenient, yeah. Just like, oh well, this new daughter obviously needs to be older to be significant, so let's just go into this city that's a pocket of space, and she will age, but none of the others will.
Yeah.
Okay, but since it messes with time, and that's my stuff, like that's my shit, so I will not falter for that at all. And actually, her playing with kids and like making one cut his finger, I think, or something like that. That was the second part that I was really there for. So what we're learning here is that I'm messed up, and I just like the cruel stuff in books, apparently. But then right after that, again, like I didn't understand what the direction is. Like I didn't understand what I'm rooting for, other than like, oh, I'm gonna kill my mother, I'm gonna kill my sister, which is like mentioned every chapter, which again, there was so many things like I don't have the magic, and then afterwards, oh, I always wanted the magic, but now I have it, I don't want it, and I will kill my sister, but I love my sister. I will kill my mother, but I love my mother. And these themes, I understand that that's like her person and that's a lot to do with how she is and the whole story. But I felt like it didn't have enough what's it called, development through like the any type of progression in these thoughts. These thoughts didn't change throughout the book. They were always the same. So it got kind of repetitive. And so, and the end was super rushed. So I think what I'm saying is that it felt like this book could have been 5 books. And if it just slowed down and took like, you know, the first book maybe was just discovering her mother is a traitor. Oh, well, not a traitor, but like with like different kind of ideas of how the world should look like. And then the second one would be the whole sister thing. And then the third one would be like going on an adventure basically to find the dagger that only she can use to kill her sister, and maybe some development between her sisters. So there's actually like a bit more of a sadness when she does have to kill her, rather than 3 pages. I felt like everything was so quick that I didn't get to enjoy any of it. And again, that's what I think, like I really enjoyed the ideas in the book. I just did not enjoy the execution at all, because I felt like I felt like the book was a bullet train and I just didn't make into it. Like I was just like the passenger and the book was like, and I was like, oh no, like, I don't know. Yeah. And then at the end as well, like everything just happened so quickly, and I felt sometimes that we will spend 2 pages on market description. I feel like the market is what I saw the clearest, because we always spend so much time, and it was beautiful. It was very atmospherically written. You could smell the food, you can like see the people, and I could see myself in the market, and that's what I kind of wanted from like the temple that she found the dagger, from the city that she lived, that is like with all screwed up like time, and the demons and the deities. The deities were my favorite part. But sorry, I know I'm talking a lot. I will stop soon.
Keep going.
And then I just felt like everything other than the market was so quick, and I felt like it was a weird choice to just focus so much on this like one place, and then kind of like in the span of 2 paragraphs take her from literally living her life here to living in that other town. Well, it wasn't like maybe like 2 pages, but it literally moved that quickly. So I felt like I didn't get to not connect, but I didn't get to invest myself into the setting, because we were just moving like this, and I felt like it was too much in one book, yet like not enough to get invested in.
Yeah, I completely agree. Too much in one book. And I feel the same way. It would go in really cool directions with the time thing, with the fact that her sister was even a thing that was going to be the antagonist, just like really cool things that I didn't expect. And her love interest being one of the Cravens, I was like, oh yeah, cool. But then it would completely go the way I expected. I had my expectations subverted, and then it was right back to, oh, I bet her mother regrets this and wants to be the one to, you know, she's going to sacrifice herself in order to kill her sister. And it happened. I bet the reason why this Romeo and Juliet love story can't happen. And it happened. And the amount of times like people were resurrected, I just couldn't be invested. And whenever someone did die, we'd only known them on page for 2 pages. So I didn't feel any kind of bother. I'm like, oh, the kid's dead. Cool.
Yeah. And even the mother thing, I wouldn't be too mad like for that actually happening, but it was literally like within 1 page. Like I wanted her to like change her mind, maybe slower, and maybe be of more of a consequence. I felt like a lot of things happened without any consequence, emotional or plot wise. But again, I love the idea of the deities, like the deity stuff. Like I couldn't quite understand it, I will say. And then I thought maybe I'm dumb. But then I spoke with some other people, and they also felt similarly. I'm not saying that everyone doesn't understand it. Like I couldn't, and a couple of my friends couldn't, and it's just such a shame because I love the idea.
Yeah, no, I completely feel you. That's just about to move on to favorite things. Mine would be the deities. I think my favorite thing about it was how just like the little things that she added, for example, how the demons would turn into, or they would be kind of changed when they take the souls in. It depends what souls they take in as to how their character will be. Things like that, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my favorite thing, was the whole magic system, the way it was built up. I thought was really, really interesting. I just felt dumb because it took me a while to kind of get it. Because I just kept like reading past it too quickly. I don't know. How about you guys?
I think it was the pacing that was like, I don't know, like I tried to give myself a little bit of, benefit of the doubt, because I feel like, well, if I read the epic fantasies for an adult and I managed to follow, maybe it is the book that didn't make it particularly clear. It doesn't mean that someone's not going to understand and follow, but maybe means that not everyone will, and maybe I'm just like not in that category that did. I could understand enough to read, but just especially with the deities, like I thought that sometimes it was big. I think what maybe what happened was that the author did an immense amount of research, and then things were really clear to her, but maybe we just didn't get that explanation on page, because it seemed like it's an obvious thing, but it isn't to us because we don't know.
Yeah, it does feel like this could have been like a much longer book, especially as you said, like things happen so quickly. And I don't know about you guys, but I did get like a bit deja vu sometimes, because I mean, obviously, like we're talking about things that we loved about this and stuff, and obviously, like I did give it 4 stars, so there was like a lot that I did enjoy and stuff. But like, and this is where I'm starting to, because every time I do a live show, I always end up starting to like change my rating a bit. So don't do that to me. Yeah, it's like as soon as we explain like our ideas and stuff, that's when I start to lower it.
I think that's normal. That's just how we process.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys remember Dread Nation? That was the first ever one that me and Cody did with you, and then my rating just went. But like, it won't happen again. It won't happen
Sometimes
again.
it's the other way around, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe I can change your minds.
Maybe.
Well, anyway.
I did go from a high 5-star for the Starless Sea to a low 5-star.
Oh, but still in the same bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I ended up like changing Nevernight to a higher from. I think I might be wrong, but I think after the live stream, that was a while back. But yeah, like that happens often. I feel like I read a book and then I think one thing and then I sit on it or sleep on it and then I think another thing and then I speak to a friend like in depth and then it's like, okay, now I'm processing what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I get that. Well, I mean, I probably won't convince you guys anyway, but the things that I did enjoy, as I said, like, I love how the stakes did feel quite high but I mean, I did get deja vu, but I did feel like when Aura was like trying to kill her mother, when she was trying to kill her sister, it just seemed like everything was so desolate and nothing she could do could work. But then I was also confused because then I thought, but how is she even allowed to attempt it? Because like she is like supposed to like not be able to act against her mother because of the binding thing. But then I thought, well, I mean, I guess Aura's special because they can't read her mind, they can't like see into her like other people can, and like they can with other people, sorry. And yeah, so there was just like a lot of, as Cody said as well, like conveniences and stuff. So I did enjoy how I love villains who feel like are unkillable, and for a while it felt like that complex sort of nature about Aura having to try and kill her mother. Like, that is such a big concept, and especially with her sister as well when she finally comes along.
I love the demon sister. Demon sister is something I definitely keep in the book. I just think that it's trying to do too much, and maybe that's why sometimes we felt like it's choosing a convenient route because that's the fastest, and there was so much that the author tried to say in one book that maybe she needed to use the convenient stuff. But I just think that it should have been less. Sometimes less is more. Because when you have less to say, you can fill it in with like character development. Like, I'm sorry, but I cannot tell you the friends apart at all. I felt like I don't know them at all.
Same. The only characters I can really
struggle to tell apart the ladies that worked for the mother.
Yeah, and then they added Craven. And then they added the Craven trip at the end, and they gave us those names. And I'm like, I won't be able to retain those. Unless you say
maybe we are just dumb. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think so.
Dragon Phoenix says, I ranted to my husband about how I'm probably dumb because I was so confused. So I feel like if so many of us are confused, it might be a tad confusing in itself.
Yeah. Maybe it's not us.
Anyone else like upset that the demon sister is not going to be the antagonist for like the rest of it? Because I really
that was very anticlimactic, like super anticlimactic, and then didn't even feel. I was like, it was a really nice touch when they were dying and they were both crawling towards each other. That was a really good touch. I really liked that because it made me feel sad. But I wanted more of that sad. Like, hit me in the feet. Come on, these are sisters. They have to kill each other. And I think it was due to like, even if you're in the time capsule that you have to like, one grows up super quickly, I feel like we just did not have enough of that, like, oh, do I love you or do I hate you, like, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, even though it would be predictable that you're like, oh, do I love you, do I hate you, but by the time that you kill her, I should have felt more. But I will say that the crawling towards it was like lovely.
Yeah.
We needed more interactions between the two as her sister was younger, so she could form an attachment with the child, and then it gets messier as she gets older.
Yeah. Also, her sleeping with the guy was so unnecessary.
I was gonna say, what did we think about that? That was a bit like,
yeah, that was that. I just think it was an odd choice. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not out of character, I don't think, of her, because I think she was jealous of her in a way. And I think she was just mainly like this like pompous frustration that she cannot read her mind and she can't figure her out completely when she can and everyone else, and nothing is a obstacle for her. So it's not out of, I'm not like super, I don't say that, I'm not saying that it doesn't fit her character. I just don't know. It was that whole scene was super weird to me. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna finally have my kids, but let me just take this birth control grass.
Yeah.
In case, and I'm like, whoa, where is this coming from? Like the dude didn't even kiss yet, and I'm like, whoa, okay. Like I'm not judging, go ahead. But it's just like, it was just a weird kind of, it was a weird turn, I guess. And then she comes back and the sister slept with him. Which I assume that's what happened, because it wasn't really told, right? But like, speaking of not really quite telling, I think it was a really missed opportunity to actually tell us what happened to the mother, because it was told but not told, you know, like we know something bad happened to her, and even when we talk more about it, we know that it's just like a really horrible thing that happened to her, some sort of mind manipulation, something. But like, I mean, if you really want us to feel empathy for a character that has like who's literally just killed like 7 kids or something like that.
Yeah.
You have to tell us in a bit more of a detail what happened. Like, give us all of the grim detail, so we have to feel the feels, you know? You can't just say like, oh, something bad happened.
Yeah. I mean, especially since she does.
Like, I don't think that I know. I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
I don't think so. I felt really rapey. It probably, but I genuinely wasn't really explaining that like at all, really, because especially since she does some heinous acts. So it's like, but what is it that happened to her to make, like, to justify in her mind what she's doing? I wish we had a bit more of a complex sort of insight into like the villain aspect of it, because like, what I think, as I said, I liked about the villain. Yeah,
especially just you were saying that she was super nice. The only thing that I can kind of speculate, and I wish at this point I shouldn't have to speculate, because it's a whole book later and like she's dead, so I don't know. I feel like I should know now. But the only thing is, because she said that she could use the dagger to kill the sister because she's also touched by the Demon King. So I'm thinking that when the other guy was messing with her mind, they maybe summoned the Demon King or something. So maybe the Demon King was kind of controlling her, like mind control, especially because her power is kind of mind control. So I was thinking maybe, but again, I'm speculating. I don't know, but that's maybe it.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Demon King wanted to make a deal with the mother to get closer to Ara, because she's actually the unnamed Orisha.
Do we know that the Demon King knew that until she entered the temple? Like, I genuinely don't know, so I'm just wondering.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We were confused a lot as we were reading this.
Yeah, and then
who wants to reread?
At the very end, that's what we get. Like, the whole like big thing is that she is actually the unnamed Orisha, and I'm just like, I actually don't hate that, but at that point, it was just a law on top of everything that was like also that. But I actually don't like don't mind that trope. I actually quite enjoy it. This was like, it reminded me a little bit of the Laini Taylor one, the Daughter of Smoke and Bone.
Yeah,
a little bit. And I also I quite enjoyed that, but I felt very confused still, even when they were explaining it to me, how she was that and what happened with the guy with the big wings at the lake, that then later was the Demon King, Shadow King.
Demon King. Yeah, that was a flashback. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I still I understood enough to continue, but I was still a bit not quite sure of what's happening.
Yeah, and then like the last sentence or something. Well, not the last sentence, but in the last couple of pages, like his part, the Demon King's like section, which I really like that those were included.
Yeah, those were my favorite.
They were like in second person though. It was like having a conversation, like a one-sided conversation. But yeah, it said something like the Orisha killed my kid before it could be born or something. So like she was carrying his child at one point. Did I?
Wait, what?
This is why I was confused by the ending.
Nobody else got that. Anybody else in the comments get that she was maybe pregnant with his kid, or did I just make that up?
Was there was definitely something about because it says lose it's not easy to lose a child.
I allowed my child to be born, and now my wife doesn't even remember our son.
And the wife is Ami Ara.
Yeah, so she has. I'm assuming in her previous life she had a son.
Was it a previous life? Was it when she was younger? Could it not be when she was younger?
Yeah. What, when Ara was younger?
Just because she can't remember anything, so it's like I don't know. I mean,
she's only like 16. Like
I don't know.
I'm thinking previous life.
Maybe.
Yeah. She must have died when she was pregnant, I think, the first time, and that's why he went
that is her previous life.
Took all of the cars and then ended up doing the war thing.
That makes more sense to me now. That does make more sense.
So definitely ask about the foreshadowing. Anyone? I didn't see the foreshadowing for this actually. I didn't click with this. Anybody else catch that?
I expected it. Yeah.
Did you?
I don't know why. Like I don't remember a particular moment that I was like but as soon as they mentioned someone unnamed, I'm like instantly like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was just like, so you don't have a name for her. Interesting.
I knew it would end up being a Demon King loves me thing, but then when it ended up being a love triangle and one of them like she can't actually touch, I'm like, I don't know if I it's not my cup of tea, love triangle, things like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you need some people to vet this people first.
I don't know, yeah. But like I wouldn't be see the issue with that is that I'm not very invested in the current love interest.
Yes.
So could go the demon way, but seriously, we know she's not gonna end up with him. Like it's always like that. Like, isn't it? Like we're not gonna go with the Demon King. He's like literally killer.
Yeah.
Maybe, but maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know.
We talked about positives, and then we kind of went off track again. Negative.
I feel like we already talked about the negatives.
Negatives, but there's like nothing to add. I don't think. I think we've done everything.
It was really just a deja vu for me because it did feel like a lot of the times Ara was saying, I really want magic, this is why I want magic, all of that. And I really did want her to never have magic and to learn, like Jay said, learn to be like a herbologist and just like kind of take what she's given and appreciate it. I felt like she just didn't appreciate a lot. And then,
there was no character growth to me.
Even with the mum and the sister like crawling to her and the mum like sacrificing herself or whatever, as you said, that happened really quickly. Yeah, it's just like whatever, like that happened, but it did happen. Like it was such a quick turnaround and stuff. It just didn't develop in the way I would have wanted. So especially with the mother, like I really wanted. Because Ara was like struggling. I think there was a part where Ara was trying to recall really good memories of her mother before she could kill her. She was like, "This is how I will, overcome the curse that her mother's put on her," kind of thing. And it was those things that I was really interested in seeing more of. And then it was, as you said, too much of a quick turnaround. I couldn't invest because it didn't feel realistic by the time that happened. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword for me because at the same time, I really liked that kind of relationship. But as you said, it just wasn't really put on the paper the way it could have been done. But I still,
I feel like it's literally timing. I feel like we just did not have enough time for each of the bits that we wanted more of. Like
this is 2 books in one.
I was like so I literally could have been so invested in so many of the parts, like taken separately, if they were just like expanded on, which is a very weird thing for me to say because I usually like, stop dwelling on this, like let's move on. So like it's the opposite. Like I don't think like I've ever. Oh my god. Oh, it's the wrong side.
Even you're confused by the mirroring. It's like,
For another negative, for me, which is a big one, was the writing style. I just didn't really mesh, which in itself is all of the stuff that I already mentioned, like the pacing and stuff. That's obviously kind of part of the writing style, but the actual writing style as well. I think there was a lot of cliche stuff in description wise, like the amount of time. And I think I just noticed that, what the hell?
She did bite her cheek a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah,
she
she had no
biting
cheek
her
left.
cheek. Anyone notice?
Oh,
she kept
she kept saying like, oh, I can feel like it, oh, and like the shiver went down my spine, and I could feel like the hair standing up on my arm. The spine thing so many times, and since I started noticing it was like, you know, when you cannot unnotice like the breath thing.
Yeah.
It was like that, but like because,
yeah.
and I just kept noticing the shivers and the spine stuff, the chilling spine thing. And then every time the dude said her name, she's like, oh, it's like honey. I don't know. I don't remember what the saying is now anymore, but like it tastes like honey from his lips, and like he's just saying your name. Like calm down. Yeah. Like it wouldn't bother me, but it was literally every single time he said her name, she's like, oh, her name flowing like fucking dribbling honey. I don't know.
Poetic.
Just like very, very.
Yeah. I didn't notice too much about that. I listened to the audiobook to and from like work and stuff, so I didn't notice it too badly. It was really just story and plot that was the main focus for me, and I did enjoy those aspects, but I totally get it.
Yeah, that's
it was really fast.
I can definitely see people really enjoying this book as well. I think it's like sometimes with the writing style, especially with the writing style, it's such a personal preference. I do think that the plot is very flawed. The pacing is just way off, and it really then, and for the core pile, it really, like all of those things together really obviously didn't contribute to the enjoyment and the intrigue. So all of it put together, that's why it's a 2-star, because I feel like a lot of these things would influence the other stuff.
Yeah, and it dragged it down.
The atmosphere, actually.
Yeah, atmosphere is good. I really enjoyed the settings. The settings were fab.
I really when I first started reading this, and they were like those introduced like the different type of tribes. That's what really got me excited, because I really wanted to explore the different tribes and their different beliefs and how they would like exist together, and where would they disagree and where would they agree, how will they unite against like a common enemy. But we didn't get any of that.
No, I'm assuming that'll be for a later book, probably, where there's like a war against the Demon King.
Maybe.
Yeah,
because I felt like they were like I felt like I started a separate book than what I ended with, because I got so excited by the grandmother, the tribes, the gods, and then the father, and then I lost all of that by the end. By the middle.
Yeah, Bunny says the same thing. Wanted to hear more about the tribes and their specific skills. Yeah, like I forgot that the different tribes had different magic for a large part of the book until one of the friends came back who had the tattoos, and it was like, oh, this makes us heal quicker.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I really like that he actually is it Rajak? Sorry, I can't remember the name.
Rajak,
he had those like guardian people like appear around him. That is so cool. I actually like his character. I feel like other than the sister, he's the only other person that I was like, oh, okay, this is a very interesting character. I'd like to know more. Just not the love side. Just like his actual stuff. I would like to know more.
Oh, so they're saying that there is no tribes. I thought it was just the leaders that died. See, again, confused.
No, everyone died.
Oh, so there won't be like a common war.
Because remember how I asked you? Because I was like, oh, I'm so not sure why the mother is upset about the tribes dying when it's the grandmother was of the father's side. So I was like, was the grandmother actually from the mother's side? Then I asked my Patreons on that live stream, and they said that no, the mother was from a different tribe, but the sister wiped all the tribes. So that's what she said.
Right. Okay. See, I wasn't 100% on that.
This is a kind of book where I feel like I need to reread it like straight away, and that's terrible.
No, but if you enjoyed it, then it's not terrible if you enjoyed it.
That's true, but I think it's because I would have overlooked so many of those flaws that you mentioned. Like, it makes sense to me, like explaining it, like Yeah, like that makes sense to me. That should definitely like lower the rating. I would say as well, Dem437 mentioned, I did love the audiobook narrator as well, and I think that probably added to my enjoyment of it. It was really well narrated.
I listened to a bit as well, kind of did both, and I agree the narrator was good. Helped with the names that were spelt similarly or with the same letter. Then I could kind of, when I was reading, I was like, I can know which one what they sound like, so it was easier to distinguish between them. But yeah, if you had to change something about the book, I think for me, like you probably agree, I'd just have it extended to like a this could be 2 or 3 books, I think. Like
easily, yeah. And at least it's still better than Infinity Stone.
But I don't know, maybe there were reasons. Maybe she just had like, I don't know, maybe there were reasons that she had to, but I don't know. It's totally up to her how she wants to write her books, totally.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like it's so personal as well. Like even when we're like talking about the flaws and stuff, like Gavin, I feel like for you it's like, you know, if you enjoy that stuff, that's fine. Like it's totally just personal opinions.
It's like a really fun, quick read, and it's like, you know, there's parts that do make you gasp, but
I felt like this took me ages. It didn't feel fast at all. I took like a month to read.
But it wasn't boring. It wasn't boring.
So
also
happened, right? So it kept you like interested.
That was such a weird balance for me because I found it so boring. I wanted it to end. Over.
I had the thing where whilst I was reading it, I was enjoying it, but once I set it down, I'd just be like,
"Oh my god,
back up again!" Like it wasn't pulling me in.
This was one of the reads for me when you read and like every 3 minutes you check your phone. And that's because like again, it was like a bullet train. Like so many things happened, but I didn't get to be a participant in any of that. I felt because like I just couldn't. I wanted more from each scene, so then I can feel like I'm with this character going through this, rather than just like, okay, scene.
Yeah, I get
really
that.
needed to feel that connection, to feel the high stakes, and care about these characters.
Technically, this book was like all the time high stakes, but I only sometimes would feel it.
Yeah. I wonder if because I know like with authors and stuff, if they ever get like a book deal, they'll probably say, oh, you've only got 3 books to write. So I don't know if maybe she felt pressure to cram so much into this that she thought, oh, I might not get a chance to mention this later. I don't know. That's what it kind of felt like by the end of it. Like, whoa, you put so much into there. That is a big sandwich.
Yeah,
it's a big sandwich.
I read the author interview at the end as well.
Yeah.
And there was a part where she said, like, what have you changed about the book? And I think the author said that they had 2 perspectives at first, and then like they took out the full other perspective, and it was like 50% or something.
Whose perspective was it? Did she
I don't know.
Was it Ratchet?
They say I put a point of view character that made up about 50% of the original story.
Oh my god! What if it was like the mother or the sister? I would have loved the sister story.
Yeah,
I would have loved either. Yeah, that would make sense as well.
Perfect.
Yeah,
because like the little snippets that we got from the deities were my favorite chapters.
Me too. Those are the most interesting. That was when the mystery was revealed. You got more information, and I loved how the
writing style in that was so different and good. I really liked it, which is odd because I didn't like the writing style in the
It's felt like a different author's written each part. Yeah.
That's good. I love how the gods are like vindictive and mischievous and have their own like motives, as always gods tend to do, which is always fun. So that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Do we have any predictions or theories on what's going to happen in the sequel?
Say you said that you could predict a lot of this stuff, but honestly, I'm terrible at trying to predict things in books. I'm always, I can't do it. I always prove myself wrong.
I don't predict, but sometimes I'm like, I hope it doesn't go that way. And then it goes that way, and I'm like, damn it.
Right.
Okay. I don't actually try to predict. I just the thought happens.
See where it's going. Yeah, do you see where it's going ahead in advance? So you're like, oh yeah, I can see where it's exactly going. I couldn't do that. I can't do it.
I think the second one is definitely going to be exploring her previous life I did get tiny bit like annoyed when she woke up not remembering anything again. I was like, I thought we're just gonna be over that. But so I'm assuming she's gonna be working on like remembering the stuff, and there's definitely gonna be a whole lot of more of Shadow King, I think. Demon
The
King?
thing is,
Demon
Demon King, yeah. I was going to say, I don't really like amnesia kind of storylines as well, you know, when they're trying to reclaim a memory that they've lost and it's always about the, like, what's happened and stuff. Sometimes I like it, but because it happens so much in this one as well, if that's where the second one's going, I'm less excited for it. Demon King, yes, I'm excited for all of the big stuff, but things like the little nitty gritty stuff with like Ara and stuff, while I am a little bit intrigued to find out exactly about it, I'm not excited for pages upon pages of the repetitiveness that we also got in this one. It might not be, but
on the head, and she'll be like, "Oh,
oh,
no."
I hope so.
I actually like the amnesia trope, but I don't like it when I already know the stuff. I want to discover the stuff for the first time together with the character, because otherwise, I'm not intrigued. So now it's just kind of work to get through that part. If I still don't know stuff and I'm just getting like snippets and crumpets and like stuff, and I'm just like, oh, give me the biscuit. So you know, like I would be super intrigued with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to read the sequel if it is very romance focused. I'm gonna wait for the reviews to see what happens with that, because I'm not one for just like love triangles in general. I do like that it gave me Grisha vibes with like the Darkling and the Demon King. Is that where we're going to go? But if we are, I don't care about the Demon King yet. They're going to need to make me care about the Demon King. We got a little bit of their past, but if it's going to be like a Darkling situation, I'm gonna need some more, you know?
See, I haven't read like the Grishaverse or anything like that, so maybe that's why I kind of enjoy this quite a lot. I'm still not exactly new to YA fantasy, but there's still a lot out there that I haven't read. So I think because you two are more like well read with like the more popular like YA stuff, like Strange the Dreamer or Dora Thornborn.
Either.
Oh, have you not? Oh,
I read the first one. I really did not like it.
Ooh, controversial.
I know.
I haven't read Laini Taylor either, or anything like that. I haven't read Nevernight. You know, it's
I think you would actually really like Strange the Dreamer.
I think
probably,
you would.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know why. I haven't really gone on that avenue yet, but it does mean that like when I read something like this, it's still a new-ish genre for me. So it's like this isn't exactly laying the groundwork for me, but it's laying some kind of foundations for what I should expect in this genre. So
and I think like that makes total sense, because like maybe it's like if we read 100 thrillers and then the 101st thriller is not going to surprise us that much, because we've probably seen a lot of the tropes. So me and Cody have already seen a lot of the tropes, and you are not as tired of them yet. So it totally makes sense that you would enjoy it more as well.
Like the trope
I'm still a
bad thing.
Like I am in the thriller, so I'm still like, oh yes, they're right.
Whereas I haven't read many thrillers, so
awesome.
See, I haven't read that many thrillers, so I'm like, again, that's another genre. It's same as sci-fi as well. So if the remarkable book wins, it's kind of like I'm still very new to sci-fi, so I'm sure I'd love it.
Yeah.
Let's check what's winning. Well, Cinderella is currently winning.
Finally.
That was like a fairly new release, and this I have been like flaunting around for like time and time again and never wins, so I'm pretty sure you will.
I kind of like a TBR vet though as well, because then I feel like more people can join in.
This is true. I do want to agree with Bujo Books when they make this statement. Her sister was the best part though. Fight me. Yes.
Yeah. No one's gonna fight you. We'll just fight with you.
Yeah. Empress is so late, and she loved the book as well. Like, if only you had been here, Pris. Yeah.
And then we have Dragon Phoenix says, I probably won't bother with the sequel unless I hear it's a lot more focused and there's some really good reviews. I'm with you 100%. Yeah.
I'll say what Pris says as well, because I know Pris, and even Ashley, I'm sure Ashley from A Frog Through Fiction really enjoyed it too. So I'll say what they say about it before I read the sequel.
I will actually see if someone who also rated it low like I did reads it and likes it more, and then I will maybe read it more. Because if someone gave 5 stars to the first book and then they love the second one,
Fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a personal thing.
Makes
I think,
sense.
Yes, so personal.
yeah. And
There
these
were
Yeah.
so many things I
yeah,
loved
reasons.
about it. So many
Yeah.
things I loved about it, but I just wish changes.
More focus. Yeah.
Yeah, exploration, character development.
Yeah.
The tropes were fun, but once you've read them a lot, you're just like, oh, I hope this one doesn't go the way I expected. And it does, and you're like, oh man, I just wanted it to surprise me a little bit more, be a little bit more fleshed out. But we shall see what the sequel brings, I guess.
I wanted the
Yeah.
relationships. Like, I'm still so bummed about the grandmother and father.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was the stuff I wanted.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
again, it's just super personal. And maybe some people completely didn't care about that side of things. And I was just like, no, grandma and daddy.
Oh, actually, you just reminded me there. I kind of got like Moana vibes between Ara and her grandmother, just because she was like this sort of like a bit more wise. She had the abilities that Ara was like really after, which I don't know why, but it just gave me Moana vibes from at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which
I just thought that she's gonna be like, oh, like teasing a bit more about what she saw, because she clearly didn't tell us what she saw, and I just thought it's gonna be a whole thing with her, and then we just left.
Yeah.
And then it was so annoying. This is super tiny and just nitpicking, but it was so annoying when she was like, oh, I should try to write to my grandma. I was like, so why don't you? Surely that's priority over like going to get a note from your boy. Like, try and write to the grandmother. And it's like, oh, I'll try tomorrow.
I think
Yeah.
the only
30 days later, she's like, I'll try. Oh, I can't.
the only part that hit me like as a like oh moment like wasn't even the dad, because that was so quick. It was when you found out that the grandmother actually knew this was going to go down ahead of time. Like, she knew they were all going to end, and that bit got me. And I was like, if you'd have developed some of the other parts like that, maybe that would have an emotional connection.
But at the same time, it's so annoying because it also falls into this like complete miscommunication side of things, because why wouldn't you at least prepare? It's not like, her, why don't you just at least sit her down, try and calmly talk about this? Obviously she would freak out, everyone would, but like, surely that's better than just completely ghosting and just being like, literally, but like completely just like be like, oh, you gonna deal with that when that happens. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe there is a reason, and it could well be. But I just felt like there should have been something.
Yeah. To be fair, I would also choose the D over the G. I'm with her on this one.
Yeah, I don't know.
So as we're coming up to an hour, you guys.
Hi, Blex.
Oh, hi, Bex. Do you guys have anything you want to add, or do you guys in the chat have anything you want us to talk about? Any questions or thoughts or anything? Let us know.
I don't think I have anything to add. I just love the look of this. Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah,
let's
really beautiful cover.
How gorgeous this is again.
So that is also why I gave it 4 stars. I'm a cover.
Yeah. Even though I had complaints, this was still a good like 3-star rating for me. Like, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. Oh, she enjoyed it that much. I don't. Oh no. I love it.
Well, we might just sit here for a while because only Cody can finish the stream. So.
Oh no.
How are you guys? What are you planning for the weekend?
Oh my gosh. Well, sit down. I'll tell you all about it.
I felt like I couldn't follow the God interlude stuff. It was a tiny bit confusing, but I actually still really enjoyed it. It wasn't the clarity. Bye. It wasn't the clarity that I enjoyed from those stuff, but like I don't know. It felt things, and I was looking for feeling things. So hello
again. Close to the end without any like problems.
It was a temporary small one. Small one.
Yeah, it's a small setback. That's fine.
Oh, Percy's gonna start Such a Fun Age. Yay, I hope you like it.
She better finish the Jumbies. We have the live show for the Jumbies tomorrow, and she hasn't even started it that I know of.
There's so many live streams.
I know. I love it. I love me alive. Anything could go wrong.
Okay. Do we have any questions or anything?
Not sure.
Bunny's
good.
feeling motivated to finishing it. Who hasn't finished it yet?
Oh,
my
yeah.
god, so we just spoiled you.
We just spoiled all of it.
Well, like,
I feel like
clearly
Bunny
you
just
knew what you were getting into, though.
Yeah. We gave a spoiler warning.
Mrs.
Oh,
Moderator.
Chris has started it, Gav.
Oh, good. That's
She's
reassuring.
halfway already.
To be fair, the book is like 200 pages, so.
You read it wrong, Code. It's halfway already. All caps.
It was a shouting.
Oh no, Bunny says literally everything you told me I don't predicted.
Oh, well, sorry. Double sorry.
Bojo Books has a non-Kingdom of Souls related question. What's the key to hosting read-alongs? I'm thinking about starting one and I don't know how to start. Well, you guys have some incredible readathons, not read-alongs.
I was going to say, I haven't really done a read-along. I'd love to, though. I'd love to do a read-along. That's my favorite series, but I haven't really done a read-along.
No, I haven't hosted. I've co-hosted, but not actually hosted. So
yeah. Because what is it Elderling Along? So, which I love. I love that name. I love that name so much.
This just sounds like a
yeah, that's why I love it.
Like jumping.
Yeah. But what I'm guessing that the key to hosting one is having a structure. I feel like that would, especially if it's a long series and a series that has a lot of different series within that series. And now Siri has come on to my screen. Stop that. So yeah, schedule. Well, the club is like a mini read along. Yeah.
Oh, Chris has a Hollowpox arc. Very nice.
Oh no, I do, but I feel like Pris is very jealous about that, and just like she's calling me out, as she always does. As she always does.
Oh.
The little bitch.
I think the key to like hosting a read along is just to like find like a friend that you would normally want to talk about the book.
Sorry, just when you said find a friend.
Just find a friend.
Find a friend.
Find a friend.
Yeah, just like, no, literally, just find a friend you would normally want to talk about the book after you read it, and then do it online.
Yeah.
And it's even better if you have a friend who sometimes has like doesn't like the same things that you like, or you. It's better. It's more interesting conversation.
Like even in the read rate review, like all of us have such different like likes, dislikes, preferences, whatever. We read very different things in general, but when we read the same book, it's super interesting to hear about who thought.
There's always someone who doesn't like what everyone loves, or someone who loves what everyone else doesn't like, and that is definitely key. Have a bit of variety.
But also, if not, that's fine. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Definitely. My motto is always just don't take it too seriously. That's all my motto is.
It's a good motto.
Yeah, and just read what you want to read when you pick the books. Read something that you're genuinely interested in, not just because of like hype. Like look and be like, if I'm committing to a read along of this, is this really going to be for me? Kind of thing. If you're putting that much time into it as well.
Yeah, and don't be scared.
Yeah,
don't be scared to like be honest as well. So if you genuinely don't want to be part of like if you're reading a certain book and you genuinely don't want to do it, it's absolutely fine. You know, I feel like everyone's so understanding, and just as Jay says, don't take it too seriously and just read what you would like to read. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's all of the questions and everything. So the best is just the general takeaway from this live show.
Just the cat pile. I wish I just named myself G and a cat pile.
Yeah.
Well, it was only Momo at the start, so I could not predict this.
And you already had to change your name once. So.
Yeah, you did already do that once.
Yeah.
Cat stream.
Right, guys. Is that us then for this live show? Do you think
so?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll be back in a couple of months.
Oh yeah, wait. Let me check.
Probably look at the
What's winning?
I mean, we will obviously tell on Twitter. It's at Read Rate Review 1 because Read Rate Review was taken. So it would be September and October. It would tentatively. Oh, that's Halloween.
Ooh.
Possibly 24th then, either that or the 7th of November. Well, we'll let you know, basically.
Yeah.
End of October, start of November, maybe 31st is literally the Saturday, so it would be literally Halloween. So
We're gonna do a costume party.
I'm
do a
guessing
masquerade.
have lives though. Like, I mean, I don't literally do nothing for Halloween, but like I'm guessing
Yeah,
other
same.
people have lives.
I
probably, yeah.
Well, it depends on the situation. No, I was gonna say I probably would meet up with my friends, but like I forgot for a second that we have a pandemic and things probably won't change in a month. So
Yeah.
we probably won't be doing anything.
Yeah.
But we'll let you guys know what the book will be, and hopefully like this one will be a bit more chill because the books you guys have chosen are a bit less intense, I think.
Yeah.
Than we have been reading.
I mean, Cinderella is there, like, sounds like it would be intense, no?
It sounds yeah.
But it's not like big, heavy fantasy.
I don't know.
World,
I
is it?
actually don't know. Is it?
It's a fairy tale retelling.
Yeah.
That says it all.
Should be fine.
Yeah, I can put the voting link back. Thank you.
I'll post it on the Twitter thingy as well when we finish up, and at some point I will do a swipe up thing on Instagram.
There you go, my loves. Have at it.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess that's us then. So we'll be meeting around that time, reading we don't know what yet, but we will let you know. And
roughly 2 months as always.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be some more of us and stuff. But thank you so much to everyone for joining us today, everyone for reading this book along with us. Thank you to Gab and G for letting me do this.
Thank you, Cody.
You are a natural. Yeah, thank you.
For showing me how to do this.
Well done. Well done.
Okay, and we'll see you guys next time then. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
I had to do it with this.
Bye.